Hey everybody, it's me, Lisa Young Sutton, with a live box reading for all of you who have asked for more box spreads and for those of you who have asked for more work or career readings. So I am performing this reading for myself. I am nearing completion of book 2 and I have several ideas for book number 3. One of which is my current favorite. So I thought I'd lay a box spread and ask how my current idea will work out for me regarding my third book. Now, before I lay the cards, I'll recap what I just did before I turned on the camera. I first set up the camera. I got my space ready. So I set up the camera, I cleared my table, and I got out the deck I wanted to use. But then I sat in my chair in my office and I lit some incense. I put on some solfeggio tones, which I actually still have on in the background. For more information on the music, check out the Mojo video. Okay. But then I relaxed all my muscles. I closed my eyes. I took a few deep cleansing breaths to center myself. Then I, with my eyes closed, I found my sacred place, I call it, on my mental screen. Okay. And I counted down from 3 to 1. And, like I said, all of that is covered in the Mojo video. But that's what I did just before I started this because I am performing a live reading. Okay, so again, my question for this spread is, how will my current plan for book 3 work out for me? Okay, I am using the Zenn Lenormand, one of my favorites. Let me clear my space here. I guess the candle can stay. Okay, so I think my cards are ready. So I'm just going to pull them out, see what we get. I know I normally lay them face down first, but I'm not really looking at them, so they're not going to distract me. I just want to pull out the right ones, the ones that feel right. And I always lay my boxes in order. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. If I pre-select my center card, that one goes first, and then I continue the order as usual. And then I'll adjust the camera if I need to. Oh, last one, and there you go. Okay. You know what? I think we're good with the camera today. Wow. How'd that happen? Okay. Right? Yeah, there you go. Okay. Now, what do we have here? Remember what my question is. How will my current plan for book 3 work out for me? Okay, now card 1. Whoops, got my cord here. Card 1 begins the story, and I have the birds. And now this is one of my mental cards, and it refers to nervous energy. It's a chaotic, exciting, and scattered kind of energy, right? And that's exactly where I am right now. Remember that the entire top row cards are influencers. They're all influencing the cards below. Okay, that's the law of vertical interaction. It's the law of gravity, right? So mental clutter is definitely influencing what's below. Now, birds is also the card of idle or superficial talk, right? And so that's exactly where I'm at right now. So, what I'm talking about now is not set in stone yet. And that's correct. But as we follow the flow of energy, which moves from top to bottom and left to right. So we're moving from the birds, which is, what did I just say? Superficial talk, idle talk. We move into more formal communication. This is the communication card, right? The letter. So we can see a progression here of me moving from scattered, unorganized thoughts to putting something down on paper. And what's the result? The sun, okay? So the sun tells me that I'm going to feel energized and empowered once I actually begin the writing process, okay? Rather than just thinking about it and just, talking about it. And, once I start putting it on paper and getting it organized, I'm going to see things more clearly, okay? Now, let's go down to the middle row. The middle row shows you, what's really happening, right? It's kind of like, it's like a bigger view of the story, okay? So here we have the stars, and this is really important to me for this kind of question, because it's my GPS card. And when it shows up in a small spread, or when it lands near me in a larger spread, it's saying, look here, go this way. Now the birds above is influencing it, don't forget. So I still don't have clarity. This is my card of clarity, right? So I know I still don't have clarity yet, and that's a fact, I don't. But I'm going to follow the flow of energy over, and what it's leading into. The stars, this is funny because it's a navigational card, and here we have the ship, right, which is the journey. So it's navigating toward a journey, right? And the ship tells me where the journey is heading, okay? So now the ship in a career reading is the card of business ventures that will bring success, all right? That doesn't mean just because it landed that this venture will be successful, but that is the basic meaning in a business sense, right? In a career reading of this card. So you have to read the cards around it to tell you where that's heading, all right? And it's also the card of a long, slow journey. And again, for this question, that makes perfect sense. I'm not even ready to start working on this book yet, other than, taking notes, putting some stuff on paper so that I can gain some, some more clarity. Clarity. Okay. But the ship is heading toward the ways. Now, this is very, very important. This tells me that I'll be making choices that will alter my current plan. All right? The ways is the card of divergence and new paths and variety. Now, the sun above it is telling me that I'll see these options more clearly, and I'll have the energy to put into these decisions. Okay? So this whole middle row is telling me that I will eventually make some changes to my current plan, but that I will eventually find clarity and move forward. Okay? All right, now space 7, right here, I call that the hidden issue space. Now, all the bottom cards, remember, are foundational cards that form the basis of the topic we're discussing, the topic that you're asking about. And they are often things that we didn't know or hadn't considered. And the whip here tells me that I'm going to struggle a bit with this plan. And this doesn't surprise me at all because the plan for book 3 is pretty lofty. It's a big deal. So that did not when I just saw that, I was like, yeah, that does not surprise me at all. And I know I'm being cryptic about this, but that's because it's still in the idea phase. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. All right. Book 2 isn't even out yet. So anyway, but this is telling me that the plan I currently have for book 3 will be hard work. And I already know that. It is a big undertaking. And this also tells me I'm going to change it up a bit. So I'm kind of looking at that now and seeing it as 2 steps forward and 1 step back. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of repetition, a lot of corrections, a lot of rewrites, and possibly some criticism. Of course, I'm no stranger to that now. But let's follow the flow, okay? So this is really cool because this card of conflict and discord is leading to a stabilizing card here. Actually, these are both stabilizing cards, so this is nice. The house can refer to many things in a work reading, but for this question, it tells me that after a bit of a battle, I'll return to something more stable, more familiar, more comfortable, right? Those are all those are all keywords for the house. And it's a card of traditions, which is part of what the book is about, right? But in this position and read with these other cards, it's telling me to focus on building a solid foundation. You know, I mean, it's the card of a solid foundation, and it's in a foundational position in the spread. So, you know, build a solid foundation before I attempt to write this book. Otherwise, I'll head back to the whip. Yeah. Now, the dog, as the final card, tells me that I will wind up staying loyal to this plan, but it will take a while. It's going to be a long, slow journey, right? It's going to involve some alterations and more variety that I'm currently aware of. And that laying a solid foundation and sticking to the traditions of the topic that I'm going to be writing about will ensure that I'll avoid unnecessary conflict, criticism, and wasted energy. Where am I getting wasted energy? Look at my alternate diagonal. This is my primary diagonal, right? This is my alternate, kind of like backstory type diagonal, right? And it starts with this card of energy up here. Long, slow journey, wasted effort. Okay? But my primary diagonal brings me from scattered and distracted thoughts to boarding that ship and starting the journey, to remaining loyal to the plan, but to an altered plan. Why? Because Waze is above it. Waze is weighing on it. Okay? So, you know, as you can see, there's an obvious flow of energy in the mini tableau. Yes, this is a box spread, which is the mini tableau. This is the smallest tableau. My petite tableau is 25 cards. The grand tableau, of course, is all 36. But this, the 9 card, is the mini tableau. So there's an obvious flow of energy. And as long as you know what these positions mean, this spread should make perfect sense to you and should give you all the information you need for most of your specific questions. Okay? So, you know, I'm going to leave you with this tip. Always remember what takes precedence in a reading. Card order, I read from left to right, top to bottom. That gives me card order. Card order and proximity, what's touching what, okay, trumps directional cues and houses if you're using them. We're not using houses here, but for those of you who like your houses in your grand tableaus, houses are pretty much secondary information, okay? Card order and proximity takes precedence. And when I just said card order and proximity trumps directional cues, what I'm saying there is, while this ship, this emblem right here on this, in this deck, the ship is facing right, and I read left to right, but sometimes my ship card is facing left. So while I would take note of what that ship is facing for a directional cue, the ship is still moving into this card, okay? Because I'm still reading left to right. That's what I mean by directional cues. So card order and proximity take precedence over directional cues and houses. I want to leave you with that little tip. Okay, that's it, my friends. Thanks for watching, as always. I hope that was helpful. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to link the blog on how to interpret the box spread in the description box below the video. Okay? So everybody go and play with your cards. All right, bye everybody. See you in the next video.